Let's begin with homework exercise number 18 from section 6.3. We have to solve the formula for P in this case, and it's given A equals P times M. Okay, so the equation given is A equals P times M. We've got to solve for P. Now notice it's P times M. This is just like if it was A equals P times 4, 4P. To get P by itself, you would just divide both sides by 4, right? So it's the same idea, except instead of a number, P is multiplied by M, but you can still divide by a variable. So simply divide both sides by M. So on the left side, we don't know what A and M are, so to indicate division, we can do a fraction, which is A divided by M. M divided by M is 1. And so 1 times P is P. That's why we did it. We solved for P. We got P by itself, so we know now we have our final answer because we got P equals A over M. So it's simply the fraction A divided by M. Okay? So let's put that into the calculator. I'm sorry, not the calculator. We got our answer, right? So put it into MyMathLab, choose the fraction, and it's A over M. All right, homework exercise number 19, solve for F. Capital A equals 1/3 times F times N. Notice now, we're solving for F. Now, the 1/3, the 3 is in the denominator, so you're really dividing by 3. So what I'm going to do is to undo division, you multiply by that same number. So if it was like 1/4, you multiply by 4, 1/3 by 3, because 3 over 1 times 1 over 3 cancels. You just get 1. So then you're just left with 1 times Fn, which is just Fn. Now notice on this side, we multiplied 3 on the right side, 3 on the left side, so nothing cancels, so we get 3 times A. It's in the numerator. We're trying to solve for F. We want N times N, so we got to divide by N. So we get what? 3 times capital A divided by N, so that's N's in the denominator. The N's cancel on the right side, so you get equals 1. 1 times F is just F, and we're finished because we've got F by itself. Now notice in MyMathLab you got to use the right capital and small k, so it's 3 times capital A divided by N, which is a fraction, or the fraction 3A over N. So let's go ahead and put that in to MyMathLab. Fraction 3 capital A over N. Number 20, capital W equals capital L times W. V equals L times W times H. V equals L times W times H. We're supposed to solve for W. Notice these are all multiplied. If nothing's in between, so operation means multiplication. So what? To undo multiplication, we divide by L, and we can also divide by H. We can do it in one step, right? So what we do to the one side, we do to the other side. Now, so what do we get? We get the fraction V over L times H in the denominator. And the reason why the L's cancel the 1, the H's cancel the 1, and we're simply left with W, because 1 times W times 1 is just W. So now again, we have solved it because we've got W by itself. So it's equal to the fraction capital V over capital L times H. Okay, to undo multiplication, we divided L and H both sides to solve for W. Capital V, and in the denominator was capital L times H. You can just put in LH, and it'll automatically make it correct. It understands multiplication, that it's multiplication. Okay, another one with variables. Y equals Sx plus M. Supposed to solve for S. Notice it's S times X plus M. So we're going to get rid of what we add first, right? Because if we start dividing by x, we're going to get fractions. So first, subtract m from both sides. Again, on the left side, you don't know how y and m are related, so all you can do is write y minus m. Plus m minus m is 0. X plus 0 is just s times x. Okay, so we got that. Now we want to solve for s. Usually we solve for x, but we're solving for s, so we want to get rid of times x, so we what? Divide both sides by x. Now, this is, you can just leave this as a fraction. MyMathLab will accept this as an answer. Y minus m over x, and that is indeed our answer because the x over x is 1. 1 times s is just s. And again, we're finished because we're supposed to solve for s. So we get simply y minus m all divided by x, or the fraction y minus m over x. Okay, so again, choose the fraction y minus m, and x is in the denominator. All right. Capital C equals g plus grt, solving for t. Now again, there's the variable t. It's multiplied by this g and r, but it's added, we're adding this g. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of what we're adding first by subtracting g. So then on the left side, we get a capital C minus a capital G. The reason we subtracted is g minus g is 0, right? So those g's cancel. We still have that g times r times t, right? Now again, everything is multiplied, so we're going to divide by the capital G and r because we want to solve for t. So we're going to divide by the capital G and r. Capital G's equal, g over g is 1, r over r is 1. So we get t equals, that's why we did it, we're solving for t, and what do we have here? C minus capital G over g times r. Now again, this is a subtraction in the numerator. You cannot cancel these g's because it's not common here. So this is your final answer. You cannot cancel those g's because it's not multiplied in the numerator. It's subtracted. So that would be the final simplified answer. Okay, you can put it all in one fraction, c minus g over g times r. And again, get the cases right. So again, it's one fraction. The numerator is capital C minus capital G, and the denominator is capital G, and then it was a times a small r, and that is indeed our correct answer. All right, let's look at number 23. Sx plus ty equals capital V, and we're solving for x. So now here's our x. We're adding the term ty. We can subtract that entire term to get rid of it. So you can simply subtract ty from both sides. Ty minus ty is 0. That's why we did it. What remains on the left side is s times x equals, here we have capital V minus capital T times y. That's one term. Solving for x, it's multiplied by s. So we're going to divide both sides by s, because on the left side, s divided by s is 1. 1 times x is x. So we get x equals, right? We got our answer, x equals, and then we have what? Capital V minus capital T times y divided by, actually that's a large case s, right? Okay, so make sure, and then of course that's one fraction, so we'll put it in as a fraction. V minus ty all over capital S. All right, let's go ahead and put that in. Choose fraction, capital V minus capital Ty all over capital S. And that is indeed the correct answer. Okay, we're going to stop this session here. This ends all the problems from section 6.3. If you have any questions, email me at tswiersz@hodges.edu or call me at 239-938-7805. Thank you.